it's probably more of a midfield issue than a defensive issue, but we were conceding chances every time Chelsea broke our press.
It felt like to me like the best thing the manager did all game was put Gravenberch centre back.
Yeah,
It felt like it made a massive difference. Massive difference. But this is back to what it is that you're actually looking for from that position.
Yeah,
because they're not a big side, Chelsea, so you can worry a little bit less about all of that sort of stuff. But what that therefore meant was, Paul, Liverpool were able to build a little bit better in the period that followed.
Definitely.
And that to me is currently the question that they've got to be able to answer as to how are they building through games.
Definitely. I mean, we sat in the first half, and the amount of times that Virgin Canate had the ball, and it felt like what's actually on. And you know what you can say. Well, Chelsea have done the homework and they've got the press sorted and then they go man for man. But you should be able to go, well, what can we do to get around that? And you said it there, Adam. We looked a little bit like we've got nothing on here. Does it come from maybe you've thrown free, then not being an attacking threat, just being able to drop it into Mo? A couple of times they just literally dropped one over the top for Garnacho and Neto, who were both speedy.
But isn't that because in a really weird way we had Bradley vacating the space?
Potentially,
I couldn't believe how much at times I was watching. Like Bradley just wanders out of the space, which may be the plan, and it may well be that they thought, well, when that happens, there might be a quick bomb we can drop.
Yeah,
because it wasn't about being set in those moments,
no,
but I was still like, it should not be that easy.
That's
is
right.
The key point.
And Kirkes, obviously, what we were saying, is he being told to come inside? Because he's coming inside a lot. And you're thinking, is that to allow the ball down to Gakpo? But then, if he does get the ball, he's not turning his head. He's not looking for another pass on. It's always then going back inside. It's just little things that, listen. These guys are, paid a lot of money to try and work this out, and we sit here and we try and have our opinion on it, which we were fine to do. But you just feel like we've got to try and, because other teams are going to go, well, okay, you're the champion, so you got that label on your back, which is fine. So every game you go into, teams are going to maybe give it another 5%. They're going to look at last season and say, well, this is what you did, and this is how we're going to try to stop that. Well, then, but it's up to our lads, Arne and everyone else and all the coaching staff to try and go, well, how are we going to get around that? Because at the moment, there's times where we look like we've got very little options, and we shouldn't be like that. We should not be like that.
Slot's been talking, hasn't he, this week about the first half of last season being, I guess, more simple, and I think he's talking about playing out from the back. He's talking about people being around Gravenberch, but the other thing is Trent, isn't it? We had Trent there, and in terms of being a magic bullet, that having a player there that deep means that you can. It means you can do things that other teams can't do, and I think that we are really struggling at the minute to be able to make that first move. And it was plain as day today. Whichever centre half had it, they were looking at Bradley or Kirkes, and I said the same against Crystal Palace. It feels a little bit like players are scratching their heads at the minute in terms of how this thing is supposed to start, and whether that comes from Gravenberch or whether I do lay a lot of this at McAllister's door, not personally, but I feel like that we work better when he's playing well. It enables that first thing to start. So yeah, it's a real head scratcher, and I'm not sure exactly what the problem is, and I'm not sure the manager is, because as you said, he keeps changing fullbacks, he keeps changing things he keeps changing his starting fullback and then substituting them as well. So yeah, it is puzzling.
I think what I think that opposition teams are doing is they're looking to absolutely overload the middle against us, and then go, what won't happen therefore is you won't move it quickly or smartly enough along the sides where we can't come and look after you. So that's the way Chelsea love to both play out of their play. That goes with 3-2-5, pop stuff into the middle, go bing, 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 and suddenly you've managed to get away. Now, I actually think we look quite well set up to stop that at times during this game. So I want to be clear, I don't think that's something that's really quite, oh my God, what are Liverpool all meant to be doing? What I think is being hard for us, or what we're making look hard, is just getting to 50 yards.
Yeah.
And I don't even think we're doing it particularly pragmatically either. There's not a moment of pragmatism. But today, from about 55 to about 75, we were making it really look straightforward and effective.
Yeah,
and I'm not quite sure what changes in either direction.